this.
You're going to get tired of holding that.
I know I am,
You will.
but
See, you
it's
got to get
okay.
into the game. If you're going to do this shit, you can do it right.
There he is, guys. That is John Morris.
Gadgets.
We are live on Sucio Talk every night at 10 p.m. Hold on, I got to edit this shit so it's not in your face. There you go. Okay. Live on Instagram. We already got Taquero Eddie.
Oh, yeah?
What's up?
Good evening, good evening.
Yeah, that's John Morris. You can check us out on YouTube for noise, for sound. Here it is. So, John Morris, you've been on the podcast before.
Yes, I have.
Where were we when we filmed our first interview?
We're sitting on the patio in Cody, Wyoming at the Hawkeye Ranch.
Right, Cody, Wyoming.
Great memories from that place.
Yeah, for sure. You had just come back from a pack trip on a horse.
Yeah.
Now, tell us how that works a little bit, because I know a lot of my listeners, they don't be riding horses.
Well, I was blessed at the ranch you worked, and I used to visit with my friend that owned that place. I'd never really ridden horseback before. And visit the ranch, next thing you know, I'm hooked on this riding horses. So every year for 15 years, we would do a wilderness ride.
On a horse.
On a horseback. Just, we did one that was 9 days, 8 nights, 8 hours a day on horseback, 11,000 feet. Beautiful.
What kind of food were you eating?
They packed like, frozen steaks, chicken, lots of eggs, lots of bacon.
Right.
Just, we have about 6 to 8 mules. It's just, you're out in nature, man. It was great.
Yeah. Dope. What have you been up to
There was
since
a lot
then?
of that, too, yeah.
So, yeah, me and John have been smoking joints, as always.
I'm sure my eyes look like, I just realized you're doing video, huh?
Yeah.
I bet my eyes look good.
You always look good, babe.
Mm-hmm.
So for all the people out there that don't know, I'm with John Morris. He invented the sports bar. All right, this man right here. What year was it?
1979, and one of you was setting up tonight. I got, look at all these gadgets, and I flashed back on the way it used to be.
Right.
You didn't have gadgets. I was pulling wires, just
right.
The old switchboard of a phone exchange. That's how we used to change the different TVs I'd have downstairs.
How'd you learn
Crazy.
that?
Trial and error.
Right. So.
There you have it.
Yeah, I'm here with John Morris. Hold on, I'm going to flip the camera. There we go. You guys see what I see? So we were just talking with John Morris. He invented the sports bar in 1979. Boom. How did you think to even come up with something like that?
Well, it was more at that time that, we only had 3 TV stations, ABC, NBC, CBS. And we used to go to this one bar to watch the football game on Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
But when you got there, the one night that I recollect that I came up with the idea was we get there at 6:05. The game started at 6. We walked in. There's no TV. So you go to the bartender and go, hey, where's the TV? The game's on. And they'd go to a closet and roll out a TV on the bus tray kind of setup.
Right.
Find the location and just hook up a TV, rabbit ears, adjusting the TV. And that was the night I thought, I wonder why nobody's ever built a place you could just go watch sports.
Right.
9 months later, I opened Legends.
There you go. Legends.
Yeah.
First sports bar ever, Long Beach.
That's it.
How long after till you saw other sports bars? So you were like, my shit's catching on.
I would say a couple of years.
Couple of years?
A couple of years. I mean, I had a guy visit me that, he ended up opening about 50 sports bars, a place called Champions. And it was in all the Marriott hotels. And he had his one store. He had a bar in Georgetown out in Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
And he flew out to see me in Long Beach and to pick my brain on what I was doing and how all this worked.
Right.
I remember just sitting there with him and telling him, and that's what I do. I love to just bullshit with people, and if I can help somebody out, I help them out, never envisioning that he's going to turn around, go back to Washington, D.C. A couple of years later, he's got 50 sports bars
Right.
in every Marriott hotel. He made a lot of change on that thing.
There you go. He owes
Yeah.
you some change, you know.
But they were fun times because, back then there was no commercials.
Yeah.
When you were watching on satellite, you'd have the raw feed, and you'd hear the commentators talking during the commercial break.
Oh, really?
That normally you'd leave. We didn't. And that's when I would crank up the volume in the bar, because now you hear the conversations between the announcers
Right.
during that timeout talking about whatever topic they may be talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Many times they'd get the cameraman to zoom in on a certain section in the grandstands, and it was always turned out to be a beautiful lady. They just had a way with getting these guys zoom in on that one during the commercial break.
Right.
And I would have that volume turned up, and everybody would be just laughing their ass off. Just those guys not knowing that we're all listening to them.
Right.
Those were fun times.
So when there wasn't commercials on TV, were shows longer?
No, there were commercials.
Right.
But when you watch it on the raw feed of satellite, you stayed with the game.
Oh,
You
I
never
forget
broke
you said
with-
satellite. That's
Yeah.
right.
So we're just watching the raw feed. We never saw commercials.
Holy shit.
So we had some great times just having what went on during the break, during
Right.
that 2 minutes at times, was just either the dabbling again with makeup, and you'd see the whole thing. You'd watch everything going on in that booth.
Right. And at the beginning, you would probably do this against the law, stealing cable and shit.
No, it was too new.
Right.
And
There were no laws.
There was not really. I got in one lawsuit with HBO back in the day, because when you used to show the fights, everything was on pay-per-view, and
Right.
you always figured out a way to get around it.
Mm-hmm.
And we got sued and went to court with HBO, but luckily we got out of that one. But I never screwed with that again.
Yeah.
That's dollars. They pay for those things.
You got served by HBO.
Yeah.
It seems like in your business, there's a lot of lawsuits.
Well, I think in any business, there's always lawsuits.
Right.
Most of them are just, especially in today's world we live in,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy.
People just trying to win a dollar.
There's always an angle.
Yeah.
Always an angle.
I hear you. So, sports bar, you own this restaurant. Before that, so it took you 9 months to open it. What were you doing in those 9 months?
Learning about the business. I'd never worked a day in my life in a restaurant. I was flying by the seat of my pants. My partner happened to play with the Los Angeles Rams. He was an all-pro NFL guy, Dennis Harrer. Mm-hmm. And him and I had bought some real estate together in Long Beach. And we pretty much leveraged all that stuff and built legends. It was just, it just happened so quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's just no business plan, no nothing. And we built the place off a napkin.
Mm-hmm.
And but everything worked out. It's legendary, and it's still there, and it's still running, and it's still great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where's it located exactly?
In Long Beach, California, down in Belmont Shore on 2nd Street.
Okay. How many years did you run it? Before you sold it?
1979 till 1990s, I guess. And then I bought it back. I sold it, then bought it back about 12 years ago, maybe.
Right.
Can't keep up with time anymore.
Mm-hmm. What's it worth, keeping up with time, you know?
Everything's a day at a time to me.
That's right. Couple of joints.
You got it.
Water.
You got
That's all
it.
you need.
Come out into the desert and visit with you.
Yeah, that's right, baby. So now you own and operate Boathouse on the Bay.
Yes.
Beautiful restaurant. What's that little area called there?
That's Belmont Shore, man. That's a little bit of paradise over there. It's a hidden gem in Long Beach. Well, it's not hidden so much anymore because I think one positive thing from COVID was it exposed a lot of waterfront areas to the Inland Empire in terms of dining experiences on the waterfront, because everybody really flocked to where the big patios are during COVID, and we were blessed to have one of those.
Mm-hmm. Already.
Yeah.
Got it. Did you close down for COVID?
Oh yeah. I mean, I just like everybody else did.
Yeah.
I can't tell you today how many months that was, but it was enough, more than enough.
When COVID hit, other than it being a weird fucking time, did you think your restaurant was going to open up? Did
Eventually, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There was no doubt in my mind we were going to open up. I mean, specifically the restaurant we have, it's location. It is the location.
Right.
So there was never any thoughts about that was never going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Crazy shit. And then when did you reopen? That fall? That summer?
Yeah, whenever. I mean, David, I don't know, man. During that time frame, it's like, I think a lot of people are the same way. That 2021 is like,
You just don't remember.
it's blank.
Yeah.
It's blank. It's like, you can't even use those years for anything to do with future business. It's like you skip back to 2020 and use the numbers of 2020 to deal with 2023.
Do you think that you could say 2019 was the last greatest year?
Yeah. Yeah. But, it's all cyclical. Other than if the government would just lay low and let everybody alone. But we're in a different world right now.
Crazy. So let's talk about your childhood a little bit. We talked about it the first time on the show, but where were you born?
Right at a town called Widnes, right outside of Liverpool, northern England. Very blue-collar, industrial town. No industry now, but that's what it was.
Right. And what did your parents do?
My dad didn't do much of anything, but unfortunately he didn't. So, truck driver, handyman, whatever. He spent most of his time drinking, I would think.
Right. Do you think that's what keeps you away from drinking now?
I'm sure that's always been a thought in the back of my head when I did quit drinking, that I always had a lot of fun when I drank, but I'd always, if I went out with $100, I'd spend $100.
Right.
So it's just, I have too much fun. And I thought being in this business, especially when the first two guys I had a little bit of an issue with the noise, in fact, and Legends, were two of my fellow rugby guys. And they both, when I went over to tell them they got to calm down a little bit, they kind of laughed at me and said something along the lines, fuck you, Morris, you're worse than us when you drink.
Right.
And that was like one of those, I know what I'm like when I drink. I do have fun. And at what point do you cut yourself off when you're working in your own bar?
Right.
And everybody wants to buy you a drink. I've seen how it all works. And during my research, I did ask some of the restaurant guys that I knew, what's the hardest thing for them? And they said, the drinking. Everybody wants to buy you a drink. You got to learn how to just act like you're getting the drink they're buying you, but make sure it's not.
Right.
Because but a lot of guys drink all day. So I think that was one of the best things that I ever did.
That's definitely rampant in the restaurant industry.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a frat house.
Right.
Everybody that works for me pretty much goes to, in the front of the house, they're all Long Beach State students. So that 21, 22, 23-year-old, that's what they do.
They get fucked up.
As
they should.
They've got the cash in the pocket and they're going out.
Yeah.
That's the way it works. They have a good time. They make good money, so.
You got a good group of guys in your kitchen.
Yeah, we do have a lot of those guys have been with me. God, I think of that the other day. I've got two of them have been with me over 20 years. It's crazy.
20 years.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
They worked for me. They used to work for me in downtown Long Beach. And then when I took over the Boathouse, they came over and worked with me there. Yeah, they're hardworking. They all have two jobs, pretty much. I don't think people realize that you don't really have cooks for 8 hours a day at most restaurants. It's like 5 to 6 hour shifts, and
Right.
that's all you can really afford to pay.
Especially in California.
Yeah, yeah. So they'll work day shift with me and then go to another restaurant and work the night shift and work 5 hours there.
Yeah.
I mean, they got great work ethic. Great work ethic.
Work ethic. When you were growing up, let's go back to that. Used to work with the milkman, correct?
No, I delivered coal.
Delivered coal. That's
Picked
what it was.
potatoes, baby. Picked potatoes.
Picked potatoes. Now, what was that like? Who were you working with?
A farmer down the road, a couple of miles down the road, that I would walk down there and work for them, picking potatoes, making a quarter a day,
A quarter a day.
a shilling quarter, about the
Right.
equivalent.
They look the same?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, about the same size too. Silver coin,
Who's on the face of a shilling?
queen.
Ooh. How'd you feel when she passed?
Oh, sad. Yeah, very sad.
Right.
She was well liked. Her mother was even more liked.
Right.
They're in a mess right now, though. That family's in a mess. But then, hey, we all have our issues.
Yeah.
It just so happens they're at a different level of peeps.
Mm-hmm.
Royalty.
Right. Was there a class system that you knew of when you were growing up?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I always remember when I was 11 years old in England, you took what they called the 11 plus exam. And that determined your school path. If you failed or did low scores on the 11 plus, you were going to the secondary school. If you did well in those tests, you go into grammar school. So, of course, I went to the left. I went to the public school.
Right.
Yeah, so definite. And where we lived in north of England, it was not a lot of money up there.
Mm-hmm.
But fun times.
Right. Farm town. And then when did you leave?
I left in August of 1963, August the 17th. And I landed in New York. And
What kind of plane did you fly? Like, what was the airline?
the British Overseas Airways, BOAC.
Right. What was like the flight those times?
Oh, for me, I was 15.
Right.
I'd never. It was nerve-wracking at first. For me, it was very nerve-wracking.
I always think about aviation over time, or things over time, really, and like how flight was in the like when you could smoke.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, there was a lot of smoking.
How was that? Would it be in the
Smoky.
back?
It's smoky.
The smoke section. Everybody just smelled like smoke all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're
Did
right.
people smoke in your restaurant?
Oh, back in the day, yeah. You just made me think of that now. I was going, oh, my God, yeah, all those ashtrays on the bar.
Yeah. That was part of the server duty.
Yeah, yeah. I was telling my wife during the COVID, when I was talking about how we're all going to adjust the way we run our businesses.
Mm-hmm.
We're all learning different techniques and actually really going back to the basics, which we'd all kind of skipped around now and then.
Mm-hmm.
And I contemplated not having busboys. And in my mind, it was, we never used to have them. And so I was talking to my wife, and she goes, well, how do you do that? How do you get rid of busboys? And when I met my wife, she was a waitress in Long Beach. And I always remember, I said to her, so what was your uniform? What do you mean, what was my uniform? She goes, with the green dress. I said, yeah, but what else did you have to have when you worked? And she said, well, and I said, cocktail tray, right? She goes, oh, yeah, cocktail tray. I said, what was on it? A cash caddy. And then she's hesitating. So I go, ashtray. She goes, oh, yeah, ashtray. I said, what else? And she thought about it. So it's like I got to tell her what she had on her tray back then, right? And I got a towel, a damp towel. And what did you do with that damp towel? She goes, oh, yeah. We used to bust the tables and clean the tables. I said, yeah. And then all of a sudden, somebody come up with an idea. Why don't we have somebody else do that, and we'll give them 10% of our tips? hence, and it used to be that's where the high school kids would work.
Right.
In the early days, that's where they'd get their summer job or their part-time job. It was all the local high school kids. And throughout a period of time, the evolution it's really turned into the vast majority, I would say 95% of front of the house busboys are Latino.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of it being an entry-level position, they pretty much stay forever. I've got guys that have worked, 15 years, working as a busser, and I'm working another job. But they just they don't want to go to another level of responsibility.
Right. Well, for them, I think their family life is more important.
Yeah, for sure. And then they send half that money home to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing to me how they do what they do, as hard as they work. And they work 6 days a week.
Yeah. I mean, John, I've been to your fucking restaurant, man. You're fucking there all day.
Well, it's the nature of the beast.
Just all day long.
It's what we do.
Hustling, managing. How's it been? Because I know you used to be like open all day.
Yeah.
And COVID definitely dampens that lunch crowd. Are you closed open for lunch? What are you doing now?
Well, we close now Mondays all day, and then we open Tuesday at 3 o'clock. And it's more about our location. We have no office buildings. We're a destination restaurant.
Right.
And yes, we're on the water, but there was never a Monday we made any money. And over the years, I always wanted to close on Monday, but my ego wouldn't let me because I just figured I can make this work. And it's just impossible to make it work. So COVID really helped me make some of those kind of decisions that I wanted to do, that I was kind of like, we can get through this, we can do that. And yet we never made money on those days.
Mm-hmm.
So now I've eliminated those days, and I give all my managers off on the Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesday nowadays. I'm cutting everybody down to like a 4-day, managers do a 4-day work week, 10-hour shifts. And it looks like right now everything's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, they're off.
Right.
It's a new era. The 60 hours a week
Right.
no longer exist.
Jesus. What a time to be alive. We're doing a show here. My boy's walking up. What up?
Oh, Brendoni's here. Brendoni, baby.
Brendan, you're playing in the golf tomorrow?
The club championship tomorrow, Brendan? Yeah, baby.
Did you win a golf cart in a raffle? Is that true? This fucking guy, man.
Yeah.
I saw it outside.
He got that. He won that in the Folds of Honor golf tournament last year, which is that tournament's next Tuesday. We're playing in it again.
Really?
Yeah, it's a great tournament.
Okay.
Great tournament.
Fools of Honor. What is
Folds of Honor.
Folds of Honor. Like
those
I fold clothes?
Those guys that served that we lost.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. It's a great organization.
Mm-hmm. What are they doing?
They really help a lot of the wives of lost their husbands or family members, or they help them through their education, possibly needing some housing, helping with housing.
Mm-hmm.
Just a great program to assist families in need in the military.
Right. Dope. Oh, that's why we had the dinner last night.
That was one of the auction items.
Right.
The Italian feast.
Yeah.
Did you help with that?
I helped serve it, yeah.
You just helped serve it? They didn't use your expertise?
No. Chef came over prepared. Came over some trays of shit. We threw it in the oven, Fed the masses. It was good. It was a good time. It's cool to work with older chefs.
I didn't know there was a chef involved.
I mean, he wasn't a real chef,
Oh.
but
He's an Italian guy that knows how to make pasta.
I mean, I don't know if his name was Virgil. Is that an Italian name? Is that Italian?
Let's call Mike Colonna. We'll find out.
There you go. If you have his number, we could call him.
Yeah, he's asleep.
Oh yeah, I do. I guess it is late.
What time is it?
It's 10:30.
Brendan Dieck got here early.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. What were you doing? Working?
Yeah.
What do you do for work again?
Financial stuff.
Okay, financial stuff. There you go. A lot different than the cooking world.
Yeah,
We don't know shit.
it is a
about
different world, baby.
Yeah, no one ever teaches us shit. They're like, cut the French fries. Where the fuck were we? England, young England. Growing up, came over here. You served in the Air Force, correct?
Yeah, yep. 1967 to 71.
What'd you do in the Air Force?
As an aircraft mechanic. Worked on the C-141s. I went to school on B-52 bombers in Chanute Air Force Base, Illinois. But I spent 3.5 years of my time in Charleston, South Carolina.
Right.
Yeah.
At like that airfield.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will you do general maintenance on these planes, or
That's pretty much what we do, yeah. Making sure it was fit to fly.
right? Did you want an aviation career after that?
No.
You did not like it. You're like,
No.
fuck this.
Wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah.
The military was not my cup of tea, but I had a great time.
Right. Did you have to do it?
Yeah, back then I was getting drafted during the Vietnam War. And at that time, you couldn't be sent to a combat zone if you're not a citizen. I was a green card holder. But you could be drafted. So I just jumped into the Air Force and figured make the best of whatever. But it was good for me.
Do you still keep in contact with any of those guys that you were?
Yeah. That's what social media does.
Right.
Guys find you. Maybe you weren't looking for them, but they found you.
Yeah.
No, I keep in touch with some of those guys. It's just, it was a fun chapter. It really was. It was a pain in the ass at times, but we had a great time.
Gotcha. And then you had a fine dining restaurant.
Yeah, it was called Mum's Restaurant in downtown Long Beach.
Okay. What was the food like? What were you doing?
Northern Italian.
Northern Italian.
I had two Italian guys, two Italian chefs. They're incredible. I'm drawing a blank on the names right now. It was 1987.
What made you go with that cuisine?
At the time, I had legends. I was doing that sports bar stuff, and it was
Right.
intense a lot of times because we did a lot of special events, a lot of boxing matches, and man, you had to be on your toes those nights because people get fucked up and you're just waiting for somebody to throw a fist.
Yeah.
And I always thought, man, I want to get in the restaurant business, the real business. So I saw an opportunity in downtown Long Beach where the city was redoing and revitalizing downtown. And they had all these programs, so I thought, that's what I'll do. And the renderings they were showing everybody, they would entice you to come down there, look beautiful. And even though at the time it was a fucking rat hole. And so I went down there, and just the research I just did checking around, and I went up to Melrose Avenue quite a bit. And I like what I had found in some of the pasta places, and I knew it was a good food cost item. And at that time, Wolfgang Puck was doing his deal up there, making the pizzas. So that's what I did. I put in the wood-burning pizza oven in the open kitchen. Had an Italian chef. And that was
the whole thing.
That was a fucking journey. I had a restaurant that sat like 250 people. I'm flashing on it right now, and it's like, oh.
250 people fine dining?
Yeah, but it was more, when you say fine dining, I don't even like that word. I never liked fine dining,
Right.
you know.
Too many courses, too much
No,
fuss.
yeah, but we had the tablecloth service, and
Right.
but yet you could be, it's Southern California, you know, you could be casual and yet be in a nice restaurant.
Right.
And but again, I have a patio, I've got this beautiful restaurant, nice bar, open kitchen. It's 20 years too early. And on Friday and Saturday nights, man, I'd be lucky to do 25 dinners. And it was like everybody was afraid to come down there. It's crazy when I flash back on that. That was a hell of a fucking journey, let me tell you.
Yeah. Just looking at your empty restaurant, like,
I'm just thinking about it right now that those early years of Pine Avenue were just, it's hard to describe. It really is. I don't even know how I got through it
yeah. How do you think you survived?
because of where I came from. I never forget where I come from, and that's been my driving force more than anything, I think, that been there, done that. I don't want to go back to that. Pioneering. Not a fun deal.
For that area, huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When did you start to notice a change?
When another restaurant opened across the street, and then another restaurant opened called La Opera right on the kitty corner from me,
All Italian?
which really, he was a Northern Italian. And but there again, it was kind of like, what are you going to do? I just changed gears. I just reinvented myself and changed the food is all I really did.
What did you do?
I put in a sushi bar. I took out the pizza bar, put in a sushi bar, hired a Japanese chef, and I did that Asian fusion.
Okay.
In the 90s, had a fabulous Japanese chef, Nagakatsu.
How did you meet him?
Through a mutual friend that managed some other restaurant, and at that time I was getting away from the Italian. I needed, to make my change. So that's how that worked out, and he was phenomenal.
Were the Italians pissed off?
No, because they went to work for that Italian guy. They wanted to be with the Italian guy.
Yeah.
I'm just an Englishman trying to, make a living.
Yeah.
So that, but having them open and Pine Avenue Fish, it created some synergy in the street now. We got a little energy going. And people used to just, especially with the Mum's La Opera concept, it was good action on Friday and Saturday nights. And now you're going from doing 25 dinners a night to 250 dinners a night, just by creating a little more energy and making the street safer. That was a nonstop deal. It's amazing when you think about today where they talk about the homeless in downtowns all over the place. Well, it's no different than what it was in the 80s. There's just more of them. And the same programs they offer today, they were offering in the 80s. So, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but we're using the same programs we've been using for the last 30 years, and it hasn't worked. So it needs to be a revisit, a revamp of something. I don't know what it is, but it seems most of the homeless don't want to be helped.
Yeah.
I don't think you can make them.
Right.
But it's definitely an issue for the downtown corridors all over this country.
Would you ever leave California?
Not at my age. I love California. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass, but I'm blessed to be what I'm doing right now and where I'm at in my life. If I was younger, I may really think about it, because doing business in California is it's fucking brutal. It's not easy. They've really I still enjoy what I do, but there's more nights I leave where I'm thinking, damn it, now what? That's the thought process with me, because every day seems like there's a headache with employees. And there's such headaches that shouldn't really exist. It's crazy, some of the things, the little things that people get upset about. And I don't know. I'm trying to step back from dealing with employees. That's the biggest headache we all face today.
What would you then do?
I'm just marketing and promotions, but I don't want to be involved in hiring, firing, anything. I don't want to manage.
What is the most common problem amongst the employees of today?
Again, are they going to show up tomorrow? They just quit with no notice. They don't show up for interviews. You can have scheduled 10 interviews a week. You're lucky if 2 of them show up. Nothing makes any sense. Even when you talk to the people, normally you could talk to the employees that work with you. Hey, do you have any friends looking for work? And usually that's easy, especially when you're talking hostesses and such of that nature with the high school kids. Nobody wants to work. So I don't know. I don't know where we're going with that, but it's just different.
Would you reinvent the restaurant and to try to get other type of staff in?
I don't think that's not the issue. That's not the issue. I mean, I don't know what else you would sell on that waterfront over there. I mean, I don't know why you would have to change anything. It's just the world we live in today, that the youth of today, it's a totally different work ethic. You can't find managers that want to do 40 hours a week. I mean, it's unbelievable when I think about it. Maybe I'm the one who's fucked up. Because, I used 70 hours a week, 80 hours a week. Didn't bother me because that's what you had to do. That's what you did. You ran a restaurant, you're open all day, you're open all night. You just did it. And anybody in this industry would at least be doing, I'm sure 50 to 60 hours a week.
Right.
And not thinking about it. 3 years go by here, this COVID, this whole thing, it's like I now have my managers do four 10-hour shifts. And it's still they bitch.
Let's hope they don't watch this. Jesus.
I mean, I don't know. It's just a different world.
Hey, man, you got to be honest. It's all good.
It's just the way I was brought up, the way I did things. It's you can't do it today. I mean, my own daughter Katie, she works for me, and I'll never forget when she said, "Dad, I'm not going to be you. I can't work the hours you work." And then at first I'm like, yeah, whatever, But now you listen to it, and it's a different world. They come from a different mindset. Whether it's good or bad, I have no idea. But you just got to make things work. You can't just keep having a revolving door with employees. You got to stabilize the place. So I think I've done that with the new setup we've done, and it's working really well for us. So, but you just got to be able to adjust and adapt, like boom, when you need to. And when change happens, most of the time you can turn that change into positives. But most people just I don't know. We're yakking away now. So you had me smoke that joint so I'd keep talking.
What? We need to smoke another joint. Let's light one up.
That's why I said it. I got a cup of tea. You haven't let me
It's all
have a
good.
tea break.
Yeah, take your tea break. It's all good, baby.
Why don't you say hi to Brendan?
It's 20 minutes. Brendan, have Brendan come take a seat. Brendan, take a seat. Take a seat. We're live right now. Sucio Talk Podcast.
Where you go, Johnny?
Oh, no, you're going to take the headset.
I'm not John Morris.
Sid.
Gonna
I'm
take
going to drink my tea and
it.
smoke a joint.
It's all right.
We're going.
All right. We've changed. We've changed position.
Oh, sounds
got a new
great.
guest in the house. You could take that microphone, put it right in your face. So
Playing for the club championship tomorrow.
More?
that's right.
Here, I got
Get you set up. Good.
Yep.
Feel comfortable? All right. There you go. I'm gonna grab a beer real quick.
This thing sounds good.
Huh?
Sounds great.
Okay.
How you been, man?
Everything good? Good. Doing good, man.
I haven't seen you in a while.
I haven't seen you in a long time.
Probably
It's been like a year and
maybe
a
a
half. Or
year?
some shit, dude.
Yeah, probably.
God damn.
Woo.
Popping Michelob. Here we go. All right. So,
Salud.
cheers. Yeah.
I just
Cheers.
saw your calls.
I know. I was trying to get in the house.
Oh, you left the gate open.
I didn't know that gate.
Oh.
It's okay. I found my way in.
Is this the first ever podcast you ever been on?
No. But
No.
not this intense. This is great.
What other podcasts have you been on?
I did some financial stuff a couple years ago with some friends that had podcasts, but nothing like you.
Oh, they're not.
They're
They're not live like Susio.
No. This is
all
the
right.
real deal.
I get this is the real deal. You know,
This is.
I gotta say, as I'm setting it up, I'm like, damn, I look good.
You look
You know?
good. You always
Thank
look
you.
good.
Thank you. So you're playing in this golf tournament tomorrow.
Yep. Bright and early. All the old guys.
How'd you get into this golf tournament?
It's just the club's club championship. So if you have a certain handicap, you get into the tournament and compete against the other guys that have similar handicaps. So
Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. Is this a special tournament, like a Special Olympics? You talk about handicap. You playing
yeah,
handicap
I think
here?
I think it's just me that's the special one in the whole tournament. I have the
know
little blue
nothing
sign
about
on my
golf.
golf cart. No, most people don't. But yeah,
That's funny.
it's yeah, I have the blue sign,
All right.
so it's good.
And where you from, man?
From Long Beach, like
Okay.
Johnny. Yeah,
Born and raised.
born and raised, fourth generation. Yep,
Holy fuck.
long
What do
ass
you-
time.
What does your family do?
Just my whole family's super blue collar, man. They've done just a bunch of
Everything.
just
Right.
get their hands dirty and make ends meet.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So how'd you end up in the financial sector?
I didn't want to get my hands dirty, and so
Mm.
I wanted a different path. So my family taught me a lot of hard work, and
Yeah.
I just kind of transitioned that to money and insurance and financial planning and things like that. So
Right.
yeah, it's paid off
Do you
now.
enjoy the work?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Like being in front of the computer?
Yeah, I suppose my time is spent in front of people, which is great. So I have a lot of good people that do a lot of the behind the scenes work, and I'm really just the front man to in front of clients and making it happen there, and other people are helping me out with the back end side of things.
All right.
Yeah,
Do you play any other sports other than golf?
played basketball growing up in high
There you
school. Yep. Little baseball.
Did your parents try to say go pro? Were you like, I'm going pro?
No. They're like, they said you can't support this sport.
You want to
Yeah.
hit this?
Yeah.
Yeah, pass it over, John.
We're over here on this is probably the first time I've ever smoked on the air.
Well, it's always a first.
Let's just put the camera towards you.
Not bad, huh?
That way my mom's like, what are you doing over there in that podcast? You just smoke weed with your friends?
Exactly. You're working technically. Always.
There you go. Keep it. Okay. It looks good on me.
It does look good on you.
So financial sector, golfing, you live in Long Beach. You
Yep.
never leave.
Never leave, except when I come here.
Got you.
Yep.
You got any kids?
Got 3 daughters.
3 daughters.
Yep. God is fair.
How fucking insane
Yeah,
is
dude,
that for
it's
you?
fucking crazy.
How old are they?
15, 13, 6.
Oh.
Yep. That's why I drink a lot.
That's cool, man. And
Yeah, they're fun.
yeah.
Yeah, they're just crazy.
What are they into? Like, what is the 15-year-old doing?
She's a big dancer, so she dances on a competitive team, and then dances at her high school. And then the middle one plays softball and basketball and golf, which is cool. And then the little one's a dancer too. So it's something always, man. It's crazy.
Do they get the sport thing from you?
Yeah, my wife was a good athlete too. My wife played softball and soccer up until college, and my father-in-law is an Olympian runner, which is crazy. So yeah, our family's pretty athletic family.
Super fit, just running around.
I'm not very fit, but yeah, the rest of them are.
It's all good.
I just do my 12-ounce curls.
No. What's the biggest lesson you learned having a daughter?
Patience, just being there. I grew up in I have one brother. My parents are very boy, so having daughters has been an adjustment, man. It's you got to learn to listen and to be calm and not. I guess John would know. He's got some daughters, but my logic doesn't make sense with them, so I just try to be there for them and be patient.
Right.
Yeah, it's just they're a different breed.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever plan on having 3 kids?
It's one by one. It started with 1, then 2, and then I was like, oh shit, I want a boy, and I was like, what's another girl if we have a third girl, and it's a lot.
Yeah. Do you still want that boy?
No, I'm good. Yeah.
You're retired.
I'm done. Yep.
I'm done.
Retire the jersey. I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't make a boy. It's all good. Yeah, life's
all
good,
good,
man. Life's beautiful. Sitting here with you guys.
Oh, god damn. That weed is too good, John. You got some sativa?
This sounds so good. I mean, this is well done, my friend.
The podcast?
The whole setup, yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, man. It took me about a year of watching YouTube videos. I watched YouTube videos for a year. And just went to video university school.
There you go.
Check this out, though. I was at the Best Buy around here.
Yep.
And I see this woman filming herself in her trunk of her car. I was like, oh, a YouTuber. I go up to her. I'm like, hey, what are you filming? Something? She's like, oh, yeah, I'm filming. And then her husband comes out, and I'm like, wait a minute. And so I'm like, do you guys teach classes on YouTube on how to use podcast equipment? And they're like, yeah. And
Serious?
I'm like, I fucking learned mad shit from you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was dope.
That's cool.
dope.
That was here?
That was here in Indio.
Man. Really?
Like, random day. Just was like, let me go to Best Buy real quick. Saw him. and I was like, God is good.
Yep. Very
like,
good.
I can't believe that happened.
Good for you, man.
It could have been anyone.
Right?
And so
Timing.
It's been a journey.
Good.
But it's also one of those things that just when you think you got it, it's like you don't get it.
No. It's tough, man. It's everything.
Yeah.
It's life.
But I'm learning, and I'm doing this small the reels or whatever the fuck it is.
Yep.
Having people like John on, yourself.
You ready to come back here, sweetheart?
He did.
You should
He
come
didn't
back.
have to come back. He's chilling.
He's chilling.
We're just hanging out, having this beer. We're almost done here. I got 10 minutes.
There you go.
Finishing up with him, you still got shit to talk about.
You
I
know.
might have to take a leak before then, though.
Oh, go ahead, man.
No, it's good. We're good. A couple minutes.
What kind of food do you eat on a regular basis? You going out to eat? You cooking?
I don't cook a lot this time of year. I do a lot of grilling in the warmer months, but I try to keep it decent, because I like the booze, so I try to eat pretty clean. Unless I'm out of town, like tonight. I'm hoping you have some food left over tonight somewhere. Go find something in there.
I got some.
I'm sure you
I
do.
got some to hook you up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I love eating, but who doesn't?
Right.
What are you making these days?
Dude.
What's Mitch asking for?
We had burgers tonight, baby.
Nice.
Simple.
That's good.
And I like that he likes frozen patty burgers because I love frozen patty.
They actually taste amazing.
Yeah. I don't
I think
like
we all
the
grew
thick
up on
burger.
that, right? No.
What
It's
is
too
your
much.
ideal burger?
Like thickness?
And
Just like
build it from top to bottom.
all right. So if I have an ideal burger, it's gonna fit in the hand.
Okay.
It's not gonna fall apart.
All right.
We got some tomatoes, some lettuce, Some bacon, of course.
Bacon.
Maybe like an interesting sauce on it to just add a little something to it.
Okay.
But yeah.
What kind of bread?
Mm,
Use sesame
I'm
seed.
open. Sesame seed's good. Traditional, right? Or
Okay.
I don't like a pretzel bun burger. Those are nasty.
Yeah, those are too hard.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's a weird.
It's a weird one.
It's a weird change of textures quickly.
It doesn't
You,
flow.
Slide through it in the meat.
Doesn't
you're
flow.
Like, fuck. Yeah.
No.
I don't like that. What's your favorite sandwich?
A club sandwich.
Club sandwich.
There you go. Chicken club or turkey club. I always will get a club.
I'm not in the club.
Not even the club, but I'm clubbing always.
I can't.
I'll get a
understand.
club wrap. I'll get a club anything.
Okay.
Club salad.
How is it a club wrap?
How is it club
Like,
bread?
yeah, like, do they put tortilla in the middle?
It's true. Good point.
Like,
That's not a
I
club,
thought
right?
A club sandwich has three
The three
bread.
breads. Yeah.
So how is it a club wrap?
I don't know.
You've owned restaurants for 40 years. What is it? What is the answer to
Isn't
this
there like a
almighty
club wrap,
John?
or am I just drunk? A club. You get like a club sandwich and like in a wrap.
Yeah, sure you can.
Yeah. But it's not really a club.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why is it called the club wrap?
I think it's just all the other shit minus the
All
bread.
the ingredients from a club sandwich.
Yeah.
You're taking the bread out of the equation.
So it's almost like a.
You're taking the bread and replacing
Yeah,
it.
but the whole idea why it's called a club sandwich is because there's a bread in the middle.
Understood.
Right. So if you're going to call it a club wrap.
Get technical.
He's all about the details.
I understand.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
The man is detailed.
Smoke another fucking joint.
You know it. We will. Okay. Well, I think that concludes this week's episode. Susio Talk. We've had some restaurant professionals, some financial professionals,
Funny Morris.
some podcast professionals. That's me.
Any good chef?
Sometimes. For those of you out there who are waiting to hear on this position, a chef position, I'm still waiting to hear myself. So if you're out there and you know something about this, you know who you are. Let me know. Susio Talk signing out. We'll see you next Monday, live, 10 p.m. every Monday. Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Peace out.